Okay, let us start. Uh, Today, we are going to start new topic, probability theory. Okay. I think you must have learned some concept in graduation about permutation and combination, right? Uh, if not, we'll quickly revise those two concepts of permutation and combination quickly before we move to probability theory. Okay. Now, the question arises why we, as a manager, why we need to learn probability. Okay, because uh, the prime objective of a manager or the main role of a manager is a decision maker. Okay. Now, while making a decision maker always face some degree of risk while selecting a particular course of action. Okay. See, basically, decision making is what? Uh, when we take a decision, we choose any one particular course of action among different alternatives, right? Hmm. Now, when different courses of action are available or different alternatives are available, uh, there, there is a risk while selecting any particular course of action. Okay, it is mainly because each uh, each option, if we select each any one option, then it has multiple outcomes. Okay. Thus, it is necessary for a manager to know in advance about the risk associated with each course of action, okay, and each of its outcome. Hmm. Now, each outcome of any course of action has certain chance of occurring, okay, and this is called as the chance of occurring is called as a probability of occurrence of that particular outcome. Okay. So, in order to obtain in-depth understanding of probability, it is necessary to use certain terms and definition in more precise way. Okay. So, in this chapter, we'll introduce some concepts and terminologies related to the probability theory. Okay. Now, the concept of probability theory and the algebra of events are parallel to the set theory. Okay, and you must have learned set theory in standard 11 and 12. Fine. So before actually starting the concepts of probability, first we'll quickly revise uh, the terminology called permutation and combination. Okay. Any idea about permutation? Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Any idea about permutation and combination?
Actually, sir, we forgot only. We have already
Oh,
learnt it, but forgot.
oh, okay, fine. So we quickly revise it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Permutation means that common element between two sets.
uh, Pardon? Common?
Common element between two sets.
No, that
Like
is called as the intersection of two sets. Permutation. Permutation is nothing but arrangement of objects. Okay. Further, there are two types of permutation. One is linear permutation and second is circular permutation. Suppose we have a group of, okay, and we want to arrange, okay, then ways we can arrange them. Okay, for example, if the five students are A, B, C, D, and okay, then uh, A occupy first position, B occupy second position, C third, D fourth, E fifth is one arrangement. Okay, or A at second position, B at third, C at fourth, and E at first. Okay, is another permutation or is another arrangement. Okay, so the question arises: how many such permutations are there? See, instead of three, let's take instead of five. Suppose that we have three objects, say A, B, C. Okay, See here A, suppose that this 1, 2, and 3. These are three positions. Okay. Now in first case, A occupy first position, B occupy second position, and C occupy third position. Okay. Now if I rearrange this, say suppose B occupy first position, A occupy second, and C occupy third. Okay. Now see, you can see the difference between these two. In first place, in first arrangement, A, B, and C occupy first, second, and third place respectively. Whereas in second, B, A, and C occupy first, second, and third position respectively. Fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, are you sharing the screen, sir?
Yeah. It's not visible.
I'm not able. No, sir, I'm not able to.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have already shared. Okay. Okay. I'll turn off and again I'll share. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. See, suppose that 1, 2, and 3. These are three positions, and on these three positions or three chairs, we want to arrange three students named as A, B, and C. Okay. Now, in first arrangement, A occupy first position, B occupy second, C occupy third. Okay. So this is one permutation or one arrangement. Similarly, BAC is another arrangement. Then we can arrange ACB. Okay, or B. Okay, fine. Or BCA or CAB. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now these are 6 possible arrangement of 3 objects. Okay, taken all 3 at a time. So this is called as a permutation. So basically, what is permutation? Permutation is nothing but the arrangement of objects. Okay. Now here we have 3 objects, and all 3 objects we have arranged in a line. Fine. Now sometimes we may have 5 objects, say A, B, C, D, and E. Fine. And out of these 5 or out of these 5 students, I want to arrange any 3 students on these 3 chairs. Okay. So in this case, I'll take 3 students at a time and arrange them on a chair, on 3 chairs. Okay. So basically, what is permutation? Permutation is nothing but the arrangement of objects. Okay. And the number of arrangement, see here, 3 objects can be arranged in 3 factorial different ways. Hope you know what is meant by factorial notation. The factorial is nothing but the continued product of n factorial means what? A continued product of first n natural numbers. So 3 factorial is what? 3 into 2 into 1, that is equal to 6. Okay, equal to 6. See, you can see there are 6 different arrangement of 3 objects taken at a time. Okay. Now question arises, what we have more objects, say 5 objects, A, B, C, D, and E, and out of these 5 objects, we want to arrange any 3 on these 3 positions. Okay. So मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? First, I'll select any 3 student. Okay. Say if I select A, B, C, then I'll have these 6 permutations for selection of 3 students. I may select A, B, and D. Then for this selection also, I'll have 6 different arrangements. For selection A, B, and F, I'll have again 6 different arrangements. Okay. So for all possibilities or any selection of 3 objects or 3 students, we have 6 different arrangements. Okay. तो क्वेश्चन आता है कि ऐसे कितने अरेंजमेंट पॉसिबल है? मैं ज्यादा डेरिवेशन में नहीं जाऊंगा बिकॉज it is not a part of our syllabus. It is assumed that all of you have this prerequisite knowledge. Okay. So the number of permutations, in this case, we have 5 objects. Okay. Now here P stands for permutation. This is the symbol. If we take 3 objects at a time out of the 5 objects, then it is denoted by this symbol 5p3. Okay, so how to read this? It is a permutation of 5 objects. Okay? Permutation of 5 objects taken 3 at a time, and this is given by formula for this is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial. Okay, in general, NPR is what? The number of arrangement of n objects taken r at a time. Okay, of course, r is less than n, and this is given by n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Fine. अब ये तो हो गया permutation. Now the next concept is called as combination. Fine. Okay, let's skip this. Now the basic difference between permutation and combination is permutation is an arrangement of objects, whereas combination is selection of objects. Okay, keep this in mind. Permutation is arrangement. So if we arrange objects in a line, then that is called as a permutation. Okay, and combination is nothing but the selection of objects. Okay. So in a permutation, the order of objects is important, whereas in selection, order is not important. Say for example, if I select out of 5 students, if I select 3 students, okay, then selection of ABC is same as selection of BAC, is same as selection of ACB. Okay, so as an arrangement, all 6 are different. Okay, but as a combination or as a selection, all 6 are identical. So they represent the same combination. Fine. So we'll not consider this as a all 6 as different combinations. All 6 are actually here single combination or same combination. Fine. So obviously the number of combinations of n objects taken r at a time is less than that of the number of permutations. Okay, and it is denoted by NCR. Okay, or it is also denoted by NCR. Okay, यहाँ पे बीच में line नहीं है. So these are the universal notations, or one can denote it as C in bracket n comma r. Okay, अब इसका meaning क्या है? What does it mean? It is a combination. C stands for combination. It is a combination of n objects taken r at a time. मतलब suppose I have 5 objects and I want to select any 3 out of the 5. Okay, then formula क्या होगा? It is 5C3. Okay, selection of 3 objects out of 5 objects. Okay, so this concept is called as a combination, and formula for combination is NCR is equal to n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay, so for example, if we have 5 objects, say A, B, C, एक काम करते 3 objects लेते, okay, and I want to select any 2 out of the 3 objects. Then first selection is AB, second selection is AC. Visible है ना? थोड़ा सा small.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One may choose B and C. Okay, now these are 3 different combinations. Okay, 3 different combination of 3 objects. इनमें से कोई भी 2 मैं ले रहा, right? These are the 3 combinations. Okay, so if we want to find the number of possible combinations of 3 objects taken 2 at a time, I'll use this formula 3C2. So what is 3C2? 3C2 is 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 3 minus 2 factorial. Okay. So if we calculate this, what we get? 3 into 2 into 1 divided by 2 into 1 factorial is 1. So this 2 get can see here. These are 3 combinations. 1, 2. So the NCR, this formula gives combinations. Okay, NCR do not give combination, but it gives the number of combinations. Okay, how many different combinations are possible is given by this formula. Similarly, NPR never gives you permutation. It gives you the number of permutations, okay, number of possible arrangements. Okay, in how many different ways we can arrange n objects taking R at a time. Okay, so hope this concept is clear to you now. Okay, because while solving examples or numericals based on permutation, based on probability concept, we need to count the number of ways to perform any particular event, okay, or number of possible outcomes of any particular event. Okay, that is why we need the concept of permutation and combination. Okay, now let's start with our main topic, probability. Okay, now there are three different definitions of probability. Okay, you must have learned first definition of probability in your high school. Okay, that definition is called as classical definition of probability. Okay, there are certain limitations of classical definition. So second definition was introduced. That definition was called as probability assignment approach. Okay, this definition also have some limitations. Okay, so to overcome those limitations, third definition, which is the latest one, was introduced, called as axiomatic approach of the probability theory. Okay, now let's before discussing the concept of probability, first we'll discuss terminologies related with the probability theory. Okay, the first concept is random experiment. Okay, I'll share notes with you, so no need to write down. Just जब हम न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व करेंगे तब आपको वो नोट डाउन करने. Fine. Now, what is meant by random experiment? So basically, an experiment is virtually any operation, okay, that results in one or more outcomes. Say, for example, tossing of a coin. Okay, then when we toss a coin, then it results in two possible outcomes. Either we get head or a tail. So this is called as a random experiment. Similarly, rolling of a dice. Okay, then there are 6 possible outcomes. Okay, we may get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Okay, on the upper side of a cubical dice. Fine. Then if we toss two coins simultaneously. Okay, so it is also an experiment, and this experiment has 4 outcomes. Okay, okay, we may get both heads or head on the first toss and tail in the second toss, or we may get tail head, or we may get both tails. Okay, so these are possible outcomes of experiment tossing of 2 coins simultaneously, or if we toss a single coin twice. Okay, so this is also an experiment. It has again similar 4 outcomes. Head. We get head in the first trial. We get head again head in the second trial. Head in the first trial, tail in the second trial, and so on. Okay, so these are called as outcomes of an experiment. Okay, so basically, what is experiment? Experiment is virtually any operation that may result in one or more outcomes. Okay, now the next concept is called as a trial. Okay. Trial of an experiment is what? performing experiment once. Okay, for example, if we toss 2 coins simultaneously, fine. So experiment क्या हो गया? ये हो गया. Experiment is, or trial of an experiment is tossing 2 coins simultaneously once. Fine. Or tossing a coin is an experiment. If I repeat the same experiment 2 times, okay, then we'll say that we have taken 2 trials of an experiment. So basically, what is a trial? Trial is nothing but repeating an experiment or performing experiment once. Okay. The next concept is a very important concept called as a sample space. Okay. Sample space is defined as set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. For example, if we toss 2 coins simultaneously, then set of all possible. See, these are the 4 outcomes. Okay. So set of all outcomes is called as the sample space of that particular experiment. Okay. And sample space is denoted by omega or capital S. Okay. These are Greek alphabets, omega. Like English alphabet, in Greek alphabet also we have capital letters and small letters. Okay. This is actually capital omega. Small omega is denoted like this. Okay. थोड़ा सा W जैसा है, small W जैसा. Fine. Similarly, we have alphabet called sigma. Okay. This is capital sigma. We use this sigma for summation notation, and this sigma we use this for standard deviation. Okay. Okay. Let's come to the point. So sample space is what? Set of all possible outcomes of an experiment, and it is denoted by omega or capital letter S. Right. Now there are different types of sample space. The types of the sample space are broadly categorized into 2 categories: discrete sample space and continuous sample space. Okay. So what does it mean? Okay. एक काम करते हैं. This is one experiment. If we दूसरा experiment consider करते हैं, rolling of a dice. Okay. So what is sample space concerning to this experiment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now in both the cases, sample space consists of finite number of sample points. Okay. Each of outcomes is called as sample point. Okay. Now in this sample space we have 4 sample points. Here we have 6 sample points. Okay. Consider another experiment. If we count the number of passengers arriving on say railway station, okay, on a railway station in a particular day, right? So what would be the possibilities? There may be 0 passenger. Okay, it is a possibility. Okay, actual may the chances of arriving 0 passenger on a railway station may be very negligible, but still it is possible. Okay, because अभी लॉकडाउन के पीरियड में बहुत सारे स्टेशन ऐसे होंगे जहाँ पे कोई पैसेंजर नहीं आ रहा है, right? So though the chances of this is very low, but still it is possible. Okay, and the sample space is what? Sample space is set of all possible outcomes. Okay, the outcome may be 0, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, 4, etc. Okay, it may be infinite. Okay. So in this case, your sample space is what? It is nothing but a set of all possible outcomes. Is infinite, is an infinite set. Okay. Now consider another experiment. If we want to if we note down the lifetime of say any electrical appliance, let's say a tube light. Okay, so if we note down, our experiment is what? Noting down the lifetime of a tube light. Okay, so the lifetime may be 0, if it again, let's suppose that we note down in hours. Okay, then lifetime maybe 0, maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Okay, let's suppose that the maximum lifetime of a tube light is say 500 hours. Okay, so does it mean that अगर वो 0 hours के और 1 hour के ऊपर चला गया तो it will fail after 2 hours, बीच में fail नहीं होगा? See, the tube light may fail in the operation maybe after 1 hour and 30 minutes, maybe after 1 hour 30 minutes 30 seconds, then 1 hour 30 minutes 30 seconds, 30 millisecond, picosecond, nanosecond, etc. Okay, so it means that if we assume that 0 is the minimum hours of operation and 500 is the maximum lifetime of a tube light, then that tube light may fail anytime in between these two extreme time zones, okay, 0 to 500. So here the sample space is can be represented as an interval, okay, interval of numbers, 0 to 500. Fine. So these are the different types of sample space. Now in first case, sample space is finite. In second case, also it is finite. Here it is infinite. Okay, but the number of passengers may be 0, maybe 1, maybe 2. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि पैसेंजर 1.5 पैसेंजर आ गया, 1.75 पैसेंजर. It is either 0 और 0 के बाद डायरेक्ट 1 हो सकता है या 2, 3, 4. कोई फ्रैक्शन नहीं होगा. Whereas in this case, sample space may consist of any point on the number line between 0 to 500. Okay. Now, how many sample points are there in this sample space? Are they finite or infinite? Infinite. Infinite. In fact, यहाँ पे uncountably many है. Here, though this set looks bigger than the third sample space looks bigger than this sample space, but actually the number of sample points in this sample space is more than this one. Okay, in fact यहाँ पे countable है. Okay. There is a concept called as countable infinite. Okay, थोड़ा सा digest होना difficult है, but in the mathematics there is a concept called as countable infinite. Basically, these are what? These are the counting numbers. Okay, natural numbers are also called as counting numbers. In fact, the set of natural number is developed for counting purpose. Okay, so any set which is equivalent to the set of natural number is considered as countable set. Okay, let me give one simple example. If a classroom is filled with sand particle, okay, and if I ask you a question that how many sand particles are there in the classroom, okay, so your instantaneous answer may be infinite, okay, but is it possible to count the sand particles? Of course, yes, it is possible. See, if you start your work today, you may finish, see, one by one, if you start counting, okay, you may finish your work maybe after few days or few months or few years. Okay, practically, it may not be possible to count all sand particles, but theoretically it is possible. Okay, so such sets are called as countable infinite set. Okay, आपका instantaneous answer क्या होगा? There would be infinite number of sand particles. Okay. But is it possible to count? Yes, of course, yes. Theoretically, it is possible. Practically, it may not be possible, but theoretically, it is possible. So, such sets are called as countable infinite. Okay, and these sets are uncountable. Okay, because if you try to count, say, pick up any 2 points on this number line, you can always find infinite number of points between those 2 points. Say, for example, 1 hour and 2 hours. और 1 and 2 के बीच में कितने नंबर्स हैं? There are infinite numbers, real number between 1 and 2. 1.00000 100 zeros उसके बाद एक नंबर डाल दोगे, so it is greater than 1 and less than 2. Okay. Similarly, if you take any 2 point, one between 1 and 2, say अगर आपने लिया है 0.9 and 0.99, again between these 2 points you can always find infinite number of points. Okay. So this set is actually uncountable. Okay, so these are actually called as discrete sample space. Okay, a sample space which is either finite or countable infinite, then it is called as discrete. Discrete मतलब क्या है? Scattered. There is no connection between two sample points. Okay, जैसे यहाँ पे देखो, HH के यहाँ पे कोई कनेक्शन नहीं, बीच में बहुत सारा गैप है. Here also you will find gap between two sample points. Here also you will find gap between two sample points. Whereas अगर ये आप 0 to 500 कंसीडर करोगे, कोई भी दो नंबर ले लो, you can always find infinitely many sample points between those two numbers. Okay, so यहाँ पे continuity है. See, you can see a straight line, continuous line. So such type of sample space is called as continuous sample space. Okay, so basically there are two types of sample spaces. One is discrete and second is continuous. Further, in discrete sample space, there are two types of sample spaces. One is finite and second is countable infinite. These two are finite sample spaces and this is countable infinite sample space. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to next concept called as event. Okay. So the event is defined as the set of all favorable outcomes. Okay. So what does it mean? Suppose our experiment is rolling of a dice. So then what are the outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. अब यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा बेटिंग चल रहा है. Okay. Consider that one person is or I am betting on the outcome. Okay. Now, if I bet that the outcome will be greater than 4, okay, then if outcome is either 5 or 6, then I'll win the bet. Similarly, if outcome is either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, then I'll lose the bet. Okay. So as far as my winning is concerned, these two outcomes are favorable for me, right? So if the outcome is 5, I'll win the bet. If outcome is 6, I'll win the bet. Okay. So these two outcomes are favorable for me. So set of these outcomes is nothing but an event. Okay. So जैसे मैंने 5 से betting किया more than 5, more than 4. So one may bet on 2. Okay. Suppose. So for him, for that particular person, the favorable outcome, only one item is a favorable outcome for him. That is number 2. Fine. So these are called as events. Okay. Now, if you consider the events, you will find that they are all are subsets of sample space. Okay. So अलग-अलग book में आपको event की definition अलग-अलग मिलेगी. In some books, you will find definition of event as set of favorable outcomes. Okay. किसी-किसी book में आपको क्या मिलेगा? Any subset of a sample space is an event. Okay. Any subset of a sample space is an event. Okay. For example, A is subset of sample space, so it is an event. B is also subset of sample space. Okay. So it is an event. Okay. Now we know that set theory में आपने concept होगा empty set. Empty set is denoted by letter phi, right? So phi is a subset of omega. Okay, so empty set or empty event is or phi is an event, and this event is called as impossible event. Okay, for example, if I bet bet on number 7, okay, experiment kya hai? Rolling of a dice. Okay. So it is impossible that I'll win the bet. Okay, so what is event in this case? So if A represent the event, then favorable outcomes. Favorable outcomes kya hai? If outcome is 7, then only I'll win the bet. But 7 is not the outcome in any case. Okay. So here event A is empty event. Okay. So this is called as impossible event. It means that it is impossible that I'll win the bet. Fine. Now instead, if I bet that the outcome will be less than 7. Okay. Outcome will be less than 7. So favorable outcomes kya honge in my case? If outcome is 1, I'll win the bet. If outcome is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, whatever is the outcome, I will win the bet. Okay. So इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? I'll certainly win the bet. Okay. Or I'll surely win the bet. Whatever is the outcome, I'll win the bet. Okay. So an event concerning to the entire sample space is called as certain event or sure event. Okay, यहाँ पे कुछ भी आउटकम होने दो, मैं जीतने वाला हूँ, right? So these are two extreme events. First is empty event, or it is called as impossible event or void event. Okay, and the largest event is the entire sample space. Okay, and this is called as certain event or sure event. Okay, empty set is the smallest event, and this is the largest event. Okay, and these two events respectively called as empty event or void event or impossible event and certain event or sure event. Okay, उसके अलावा अलग अलग events है. One is called as elementary event. Okay, now set theory में आपने concept होगा, sets are always denoted by capital letters. Okay, जैसे यहाँ पे भी हम we used to denote events by capital letters, capital A, capital B, capital C, etc. Okay, the members of set are called as elements. Okay, for example, यहाँ पे 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we are talking or if we are learning set theory, then we used to call the members as element. Okay, अब set theory में हम probability theory में हम इसको क्या बोलते हैं? We used to call these as sample points. Okay, in terms of set theory, they are called as elements. Okay, so does elementary event is what? An event containing only one sample point. Okay, अगर आपके event में सिर्फ एक ही sample point है, then it is called as an elementary event. Okay, so singleton 1 or singleton 2 or singleton 3, etc. all are elementary events. Okay, then you must have learned the concept called as disjoint sets. Disjoint set क्या होता है? इंटरसेक्शन कंसेप्ट पता है? अभी आई थिंक किसी ने पहले बोला था जी, प्रोबेबिलिटी मींस इंटरसेक्शन और सॉरी परम्यूटेशन के केस में वो बताया था ना.
Yes.
The common element between two sets is called as intersection. Okay, for example, if event A consists of 1, 2, 3 and event B consists of 2, 4, 6. Okay, now here an element 2 is common in set A and B. Okay, so the intersection of A and B, it is denoted by this symbol intersection, is an elementary event containing only one sample point, that is 2. Okay. Now, these two events, event A and event B, are called as intersecting event. Okay, दोनों कहीं ना कहीं intersect. But if we have no element common in both, just a minute. Okay. कहाँ पे थे हम? Disjoint, disjoint sets. Right. So here, as a set theory or in set theory, we call these two sets as disjoint sets. Okay. Fine. But in probability theory, we call them as exclusive event. Okay. So two events are said to be exclusive if their intersection is an impossible event. Okay. मतलब यहाँ पे देखो, there is no sample point common in both. Either event A will occur or event B will occur, or none of the two events will occur. See, if the outcome is 1, then we'll say that event A occurs. Okay. If outcome is 2 or 3, then we'll say that event A occurred. If outcome is 4 or 6, we'll say that event B occurred. Okay. But if outcome is 5, then none of the two events occurred. Right. So such two events are called as exclusive event. Okay. Sometimes they are called as mutually exclusive. Mutually matlab together, there is no sample point which is common in both. Right. Next concept is exhaustive, collectively exhaustive events. Okay. Collectively exhaustive means what? Suppose we have 3 events, say 1, 5 is one event, B is a 2, 4, and C is 3, 6. Okay. Now, if we combine any two events, say A and B, if we club A and B, it is called as union. Okay. So A and B together consumes 4 sample points, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay. Similarly, अगर B and C को हम combine करेंगे तो there will be 4 sample points in the combination of B and C. Okay. But if we club all 4 points, all 3 events, say A union B union C, then what we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Matlab, we'll get entire sample space. Okay. So it means that collectively these 3 events exhaust entire sample space. Exhaust matlab पूरा खत्म कर रहे हैं, right? So they are called as collectively exhaustive sample space, collectively exhaustive events. Okay. Suppose ऐसा भी होता है यहाँ पे 2, 3, 2, 3, and 6. Okay. So in this case also A, B, C are collectively exhaustive event. Okay. They are not mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive matlab see one A and B are mutually exclusive, but B and C are not exclusive events. यहाँ पे 2 common है, right? So this set of events A, B, C are is a collectively exhaustive events, but they are not mutually exclusive. But if I remove 2 from this, now they are collectively exhaustive as well as mutually exclusive. Okay. So ABC, the collection of events ABC forms a partition of sample space. ओके अब ये पार्टीशन कंसेप्ट हमें आगे जाके लगने वाला है, बस ध्यान में रखो। पार्टीशन क्या कर, पार्टीशनिंग ऑफ अ सेट मतलब क्या है, सेट को डिवाइड करना है। नाउ व्हेन यू और सिंपल एग्जांपल लेते हैं, इफ यू हैव अ प्लेन पेपर, ओके, एंड इफ यू कट दैट पेपर इनटू नंबर ऑफ पीसेस, ओके, तो that is nothing but partitioning of a set. Okay, now when you cut the piece of paper, क्या होता है, when you again rearrange the pieces of paper, you can get entire paper. Okay. And further, there is no area common between two different spaces, two different pieces of paper. Okay, so basically यहाँ पे भी हम वही कर रहे हैं, we are cutting this sample space into three pieces of paper. Okay, suppose that this is entire paper and we have cut it down that paper into three pieces. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, फर्स्ट पेपर पे दो नंबर है 1 5, सेकंड पे है 2, ओके ऐसा लेते हैं, ये 1 5 is one portion, then 2 4 and 3 6. See, the entire sample space is divided, or it is divided into three parts. Fine. Now here A and B are mutually exclusive, A and C are mutually exclusive, B and C are mutually exclusive. Okay, and they are collectively exhaustive. अगर हम तीनों को combine करेंगे तो I'll get entire sample space omega. So the collection of these three sets, subsets, or collection of these three events is called as partition of sample space omega. Okay, तो ये concept ध्यान में रखो, हमें आगे जाके लगने वाला है, right? So up till now we have discussed sample space, types of sample space, like discrete sample space and continuous sample space. We had also discussed event, types of event. Okay. Now, before discussing the first definition of probability, एक और concept हम define करेंगे, that is called as equiprobable sample space. Okay. By now, we know what is meant by sample space. Sample space is what? Set of all possible outcomes. Right. Now, equiprobable sample space क्या होता है? If all outcomes are equally likely. Okay. For example, tossing of a coin. Okay. There are two possible outcomes. Outcome may be head or it may be a tail. Okay. Now, I'm talking about fair coin, right? Not Sholay wala coin. You must have watched that movie Sholay. Okay. वहां पे एक coin होता है जिसके दोनों साइड पे head है, right? So it is an unfair coin, right? So in that case, the chances of occurrence of head was 100%, and the chances of occurrence of tail was 0%. Okay. So such type of sample spaces are not called as equiprobable sample space. But if we toss a fair coin, then there are equal chances of occurrence of any outcome. Okay, for example, 50% chances of getting head and 50% chances of getting tail. Okay, or consider another example. You must have played the game of snakes and ladder or Ludo in your childhood. Okay, now in that game we use cubical dice. Okay, and वो हम dice throw करते. Now that dice is perfect cube. Okay, all 6 faces are identical. Okay, cube मतलब length equal to breadth equal to height. Okay, it is a perfect cube. Okay. So the chances of occurrence of 1 is same as that of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. सबके occurrence के chances same. Okay, but instead of a cube, if I use matchbox, okay, matchbox अगर मैं use करता हूँ instead of a cube, suppose matchbox मेरा ऐसा है. Okay, and if I mark 1 over here, okay, एक dot यहाँ पे, यहाँ पे है 3 डॉट, यहाँ पे 2 डॉट्स, देन हियर डाउन में 6 डॉट्स है. Okay, like that. Now, in this case, the chances of if you toss this matchbox, okay, so it will land on any face. Okay, then the chances of occurrence of 1 and 6, top and bottom, on the upper face is comparatively more than the chances of occurrence of 3 and 2. Okay, और जो other faces है. Further, 3 के chances 2 से ज्यादा है. So here, the chances of occurrence of any outcome is not same. Okay, so such type of sample spaces are not called as equiprobable. Equiprobable sample space कौन से होते हैं? A sample space is said to be equiprobable if the chances of occurrence of any sample point is same. Okay, for example, rolling of a dice. So in this case, outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, rolling of unbiased dice. Okay. Tossing of fair coin. Outcomes are head and tail. Right. So these are the equiprobable sample spaces. Okay. Now, the first definition of probability is based on or is applicable to equiprobable sample space. Okay. Now, if okay, I'll discuss. Now we'll discuss the first definition of probability, that is called as classical definition. Now, this definition, according to this definition, if omega is equiprobable and finite sample space. Okay, see, these two are limitations of classical definition of probability. Okay, if your sample space is not equiprobable, then the classical definition of probability fails. Okay, similarly, if your sample space is infinite, then also the classical definition fails. Okay, now if omega is a sample is equiprobable sample space concerning to any experiment and A is any event of sample space. Okay, A is subset of sample space. Okay, then the probability of occurrence of event A is denoted by P of A. Okay, probability of occurrence of event A is denoted by P in bracket, in round bracket A. इसको read कैसे कहते हैं? P of A or probability of A. Probability of A is defined as N of A divided by N of omega. N of A means what? Number of sample points in event A. And N of omega means number of sample points in sample space. Okay. For example, if omega is a sample space concerning experiment rolling of a dice. Okay. So what is N of omega over here? N of omega is 6. Okay. Number of outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's suppose that A with the event 1, 6. Okay. Then probability of A is defined as, okay, here N of A is 2 because there are 2 sample points. Okay. So probability of A is N of A divided by N of omega, that is equal to 2 by 6 or 1 by 3. Okay. So probability of occurrence.
Okay.
कोई doubt है?
Yes, sir. So A value is mandatory if you want to find P of A.
हाँ, of course ना. देखो, किसी भी इवेंट की प्रोबेबिलिटी फाइंड आउट करने के लिए you must know how many elements are there in that particular event. Okay. Also, you must know how many elements are there in your sample space. Okay. Again, this is a limitation of the first definition of probability. दिस इज द ओल्डेस्ट डेफिनेशन. ओके, इसके कुछ लिमिटेशंस है. टू ओवरकम दोज लिमिटेशन सेकेंड डेफिनेशन वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. उसमें भी कुछ लिमिटेशंस थे, तो थर्ड डेफिनेशन भी आ गई, विच इज द लेटेस्ट वन. अप टिल नाउ statisticians have not found any limitation of that modern approach, so it is called as axiomatic approach or modern approach of the probability. Okay, so इसके कुछ limitations है, because to know the probability of any event you must know the number of outcomes as well as number of outcomes in the samples, right? बहुत ही basic definition है. हाँ. Now just now we had discussed different types of sample space. What was the smallest samples, smallest event? दो extremities हमने discuss किए थे. The smallest event is an impossible event, which is denoted by phi, and largest event is certain event or sure event, and it is denoted by omega. Means what? Sample space itself, right? Now, in impossible event, what is n of phi? Impossible event, ये value होगी 0. There is no sample point in event, in an impossible event. So number of elements in sample point, in sample space, sorry, not sample space, in a impossible event is 0. Okay, so what would be probability of phi? Phi की probability क्या होगी? 0. Suppose that यहाँ पे आपके ओमेगा में है n. Okay, 0 upon n equals to 0. Okay, remember that phi is the smallest event. Okay, इससे छोटा event हो ही नहीं सकता. उसकी probability कितनी है? 0. And largest event is certain event. So what is probability of certain event? Is n upon n equals to 1. Okay, so the smallest value of probability is 0 and largest value of probability is 1. Okay, so this is very important concept that you should not forget in any case. If A is any event, then the probability of event A is always between 0 and 1. Okay, it cannot be more than 1 and it cannot be negative. हाँ, 0 हो सकता है, 1 हो सकता है, but इस रेंज के बाहर कभी भी नहीं जाना चाहिए. So when you solve example, अगर by chance आपका आंसर more than 1 आ गया, इसका मतलब ये समझ लो कि आपका आंसर गलत हो गया. Similarly, if your answer is negative, आपने कहीं ना कहीं गलती की है, right? Because basically to find probability of any event, हमें क्या करना है? n of omega फाइंड आउट करना है एंड n of phi फाइंड आउट करना है. तो मतलब काउंट करना है. अगर आपने काउंटिंग में मिस्टेक कर दिया कहीं, तो ऑब्वियसली आपका आंसर रॉन्ग होना ही है. ओके, सो बी केयरफुल व्हाइल सॉल्विंग न्यूमेरिकल्स बेस्ड ऑन प्रोबेबिलिटी थ्योरी. योर आंसर शुड बी between these two, 0 and 1, right? Now let's solve a few examples based on this thing. Okay, I'll dictate a question. Please note down the question. Okay. First question. 4 cards are drawn at random. 4 cards are drawn at random from a well shuffled pack. From a well shuffled pack of 52 cards. Of 52 cards. Okay. Then find the probability that there are 4 questions. First question is 2 are red, 2 red card and 2 black cards. 2 cards are red and 2 are black. Second question, all cards from different suits. Third question, all from one suit. And fourth question, one is king. So I'm assuming that all of you have fair idea about the playing cards. Okay, सबको पता है, ऐसे मैं assume करके चल रहा हूँ. See, in a pack of 52 playing cards, there are 4 suits: heart, diamond, spades, and club. Okay. Further, heart and diamond, these are red cards. Club and spades are black cards. Okay. Further, these are called as suits. Okay. Further, in each suit, there are 13 cards: ace, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, jack, queen, and king. Okay. So this is the structure of playing cards. Okay. Now, say to find the probability of any event, the first and foremost important thing is to know what is an experiment. Because according to classical definition of probability, probability of any event is defined as n of a divided by n of omega, right? So probability find out करने के लिए आपको n of omega हर एक किसी भी हालत में आपको find out करना ही है, right? And to find n of omega, because omega is what? Sample space is what? Set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. तो अगर आपको experiment ही पता नहीं है, then you will not be able to find out how many sample points are there in the sample space. Okay. While explaining the concept, I have used very two basic sample spaces. Tossing of a basic experiment के sample space consider किए थे, tossing of a coin और rolling of a dice. Okay. अब यहाँ पे experiment क्या है? See, question में आपको सब कुछ दिया होता है, आपको सिर्फ वो find out करना है. Okay. See, in question, it is given in the first sentence itself that 4 cards are drawn at random from well shuffled pack. Okay. मतलब 4 cards draw किए आपने. You have drawn 4 cards. So this is an experiment. मतलब actually आपने क्या किया है? You have drawn 4 cards. 4 cards
from a pack of 52 cards.
हाँ, correct. मतलब क्या किया है आपने? You have drawn किया है मतलब pick up किए 4 cards. Means what? आपने क्या किया actually? You have selected 4 cards. Right? Selection मतलब selection means what?
Combination.
Combination. Correct. So here you have selected 4 cards out of 52 cards. So here n of omega is what? 52c4. Correct. अब यहाँ पे हम will not list all possible outcomes. Okay. ऐसे कितने बहुत सारे outcomes रहेंगे, and this thing is very very tedious job. So instead, what we'll do, we'll simply write the number of outcomes. Okay. हम easily count कर सकते हैं. Okay. No need to calculate the value. अगर calculate किया तो it is अच्छी बात है. अगर नहीं तो okay. फिर calculation कैसे करेंगे? 52 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 52 minus 4, that is 48 factorial. Okay. So ये आ जाएगा आपका 52 into 51 into 50 into 49 into 48 factorial divided by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into 48 factorial, तो ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा. Fine. ठीक है, you can easily calculate the number, required number. Fine. But अगर आप आंसर इस फॉर्म में लिखते हो तो भी चलेगा. It is acceptable. Fine. Because calculation of this thing is not expected from you guys, because right now you are in post graduation course, so calculation is not expected, सिर्फ concept expected है यहाँ पे, right? So अगर आप ये निकालते हो तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं निकाला तो भी चलेगा, कोई इशू नहीं है, right? So let's keep this as it is. Okay. Now let's denote first question as event A. Okay. So event A क्या है? Let A be the event that 2 of the drawn cards are red cards and 2 are black cards. Okay. मतलब आपका सिलेक्शन कैसा होना चाहिए? आपका सिलेक्शन कैसा होना चाहिए? Your selection must include 2 red cards and 2 black cards. It means that you have to select 2 cards from 26 red cards, right? And 2 cards from 26 black cards, right? Okay. So what is n of A then? 26C2 and so अच्छा ये एडिशन प्रिंसिपल मल्टीप्लिकेशन प्रिंसिपल पता है आपको? Basically these two are counting principles. ये आपने पढ़ा होगा. I'm not sure whether you have learned or not. Okay, ठीक है. एक काम करते हैं. Before discussing this, quickly I'll revise what is meant by addition principle and what is meant by multiplication principle. Okay. See, if we can perform 2 different tasks, okay, independently, okay, then the number of ways to perform task 1 and task 2. यहाँ पे देखो important क्या है? 2 words है, connecting words or and. Okay. Suppose task T1 and task T2 है. Okay. Now the number of ways to perform task T1 or task T2 is n of T1 plus n of T2. Okay. And number of ways to perform task T1 and task T2 is n of T1 into n of T2. Okay. Let me give one simple example to explain the concept clearly. Suppose in a class there are 60 students. Okay. And out of 60, let's say 40 are boys and 20 girls. Okay. Now, if I want to select one student as a class representative, okay. Now, this can be done in 2 different ways. Either I'll select one boy as a class representative, or, okay, remember, मैं थोड़ा stress दे रहा हूँ और पे, or I will select one girl as a class representative. Okay. Now, for selection of a boy, I have 40 different choices. मैं 40 में से किसी एक को चूज कर सकता हूँ. Okay. So for selection of a boy, I have 40 different choices. It means that the task selection of a boy can be performed in 40 different ways, right? Similarly, selection of a girl can be done in 20 different ways. Okay. But यहाँ पे class representative एक ही होगा. Class representative may be a boy or a girl. Okay. So either I'll perform task T1 or task T2. Okay. T1 or T2. तो इस केस में मेरे पास टोटल चॉइसेस कितने हैं? 40 plus 20, that is equals to 60. Okay. So अगर आप प्रोबेबिलिटी में कोई क्वेश्चन आता है तो जहां पे आपको एंड आ गया, एंड की जगह पे आपको मल्टीप्लीकेशन अप्लाई करना है एंड और की जगह पे एडिशन लेना है। ओके, अब मल्टीप्लीकेशन क्यों करना है, I'll explain. अब सपोज सेम क्लास है, क्लास कंटेनिंग 40 बॉयज एंड 20 गर्ल्स। ओके, अब मुझे एक पेयर फॉर्म करनी है। ओके, कोई कंपटीशन है, से डिबेटिंग कंपटीशन, एंड आई वांट टू सेंड अ टीम ऑफ 2 स्टूडेंट consisting 1 girl and 1 boy, okay, for that particular competition. Now suppose these are B1, B2, B40. Suppose these are 40. Suppose these are 40 boys and G1, G2, G20. These are 20 girls. Okay. Now here I want to form a team of 2. Right. Now one boy can be selected in 40 different ways, and one girl can be selected in 20 different ways. Okay. Now why in this case I have to apply multiplication principle? The reason is simple. See, if I choose boy B1, okay, then I can pair B1 with G1 or B1 with G2 or B1 with G20. It means that boy B1 alone can form 20 pairs. Okay. Similarly, boy B2 can form 20 pairs. B3 can be paired with G1 or G2 or G20. So B3, matlab each of these 40 boys can form 20 different pairs. Okay. So the question is, how many pairings are possible? For 20 of B1, 20 of B2, 20 of B3, 20 of B40. Let's say 20 plus 20 plus 20, how many times? 40 times. So that is nothing but 40 multiplied by 20. अब previous example में and इस example में क्या difference है? In this example, because I want to form a pair of 2, okay, so I have to perform task T1 and task T2. Okay, दोनों task मुझे perform करने हैं, right? I have to choose one boy and one girl. Whereas in previous case, either I will choose one boy or a girl. Okay, difference समझ में आ गया? पहले केस में हम और कर रहे थे, either T1 or task T2. Here we are performing both the tasks, task T1 as well as task T2, right? So in this case, we have to apply multiplication principle. Okay, so number of ways to form a team is 40 into 20. Okay. So suppose hope this concept is now clear to you. तो जहां पे आपका and आता है, there you have to apply multiplication principle, and wherever you get or as a connecting word, you have to apply addition principle. Okay, so let's come to the point. In this case, event A क्या है मेरा? Event A क्या है? 2 red out of 4 cards, 2 should be red and 2 should be black. Correct? So obviously यहाँ पे लगेगा मेरा multiplication principle, right? 2 are red. Okay, मतलब 2 कार्ड का सिलेक्शन कहां से होना है? I have to select 2 red cards from 26 red cards, that is 26C2. So this is the number of ways to select 2 red cards out of 26 red cards. And then I'll select 2 from 26 black cards, right? So number of ways is 26C2, right? So this is what the number of sample points in event A. Therefore, probability of A is this 26C2 into 26C2 divided by 52C4. Okay, so this is the answer of first question. What about second? इसको हम इवेंट बी डिनोट करते हैं. ऑल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सूट्स, मतलब 4 कार्ड्स है मेरे पास, वो कैसे होने चाहिए? तो 1 कार्ड शुड बी ऑफ हार्ट, एक डायमंड का होना चाहिए, एक क्लब का होना चाहिए और दूसरा स्पेड का होना चाहिए, 4। ओके, तो मतलब क्या होगा यहाँ पे? हम्म, हम्म, तो व्हाट वुड बी एन ऑफ बी?
13 C1
13 C1
multiplied by 13 C. All are from
Okay.
13 C1 C.
हाँ, 13C1, 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 13C1। ओके, एडिशन और मल्टीप्लीकेशन?
Multiplication.
मल्टीप्लीकेशन। सी, अगर हम एडिशन लगाते मतलब वी आर सिलेक्टिंग वन, सी सपोज क्वेश्चन ऐसा है, कार्ड शुड बी ऑफ स्पेड और डायमंड और क्लब और हार्ट, और मतलब क्या है, हम एक ही कार्ड चूज कर रहे हैं वहां पे। ओके, वन इज फ्रॉम 13 हार्ट्स और 13 डायमंड्स और ऐसा है, बट यहाँ पे क्या है, इन टोटल वी हैव टू चूज और वी हैव टू ड्रॉ 4 कार्ड्स। अब 4 कार्ड कैसे ड्रॉ करने हैं आपको? वन इज फ्रॉम सेट ऑफ 13 डायमंड्स एंड वन फ्रॉम क्लब्स एंड वन फ्रॉम स्पेड्स एंड वन फ्रॉम हार्ट। तो एंड है मतलब यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लीकेशन लगेगा, राइट? So you can write probability. Probability is what? This divided by 52C4. C. Third question. So let us call it as event C. क्या होगा? I'll write probability directly. Probability of C. Denominator होगा आपका 52C4.
Numerator should be 13 C4.
हाँ, 13C4. Why? Can you justify?
Because 13 cards are there in one suit, and out
Okay.
of the 13 cards, we are picking 4.
Okay, but from which suit? क्लब्स में ले रही हो, डायमंड से ले रही हो, हार्ट से ले रही हो, या स्पेड से ले रही हो?
any 4, right? Any 4, right?
Any suit we can take, no?
हाँ, बट ऐसा मेंशन नहीं किया ना, ऑल फ्रॉम डायमंड्स। से अगर क्वेश्चन होता ऑल फ्रॉम डायमंड्स तो क्या करती? तो यू विल हैव 13 चॉइसेस, करेक्ट? 13 डायमंड कार्ड्स है ना?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you have 13 diamonds, so from 13 you will choose any 4, fine. But यहाँ पे कैसे है? All from one suit. So your all 4 cards are either of diamonds, all are either diamond or club or heart or क्या बचा? Spade. Okay, so all 4 are either from 13 diamond cards or मतलब addition from 13 hearts or from 13 spades or from 13 clubs. Okay, right?
Yes, yes.
Got it?
Got
Okay.
it, got it.
Now fourth one, let us
Sir.
call it as
Sorry for the interruption. Actually, y plus sign is that? I didn't get
देखो,
that.
अब यहाँ पे मुझे टोटल 4 कार्ड ही चूज करने हैं, राइट? अगर तुम यहाँ पे एंड लगाती तो कितने हो गए? 4 डायमंड से हो गए एंड 4 फ्रॉम हार्ट, 4 फ्रॉम स्पेड एंड 4 फ्रॉम क्लब, तो टोटल 16 कार्ड चूज हो जाएंगे आपके, राइट? बट ऐसा नहीं है, आपको क्या करना है? यू हैव टू चूज ओनली 4 कार्ड्स एंड ऑल 4 कार्ड्स शुड बी फ्रॉम सेम सूट। ओके, तो सेम सूट मतलब कौन सा होना चाहिए? इट मे बी हार्ट और मे बी डायमंड और मे बी क्लब और मे बी स्पेड। तो आप 4 एक तो डायमंड से लेंगे और 4 4 फ्रॉम क्लब्स, तो और मतलब यहाँ पे आपका एडिशन लगेगा। ओके, एडिशन प्रिंसिपल। एंड की जगह पे आपको मल्टीप्लीकेशन लगाना है, और की जगह पे एडिशन लगाना है, राइट? नेक्स्ट वन इज किंग, तो इवेंट डी लेते हैं। डिनोमिनेटर अगेन सेम 52C4। वन इज किंग मतलब क्या करना है?
52C1 N of D is 52C1.
गारंटी क्या है कि किंग होगा वो? 52 में से आप एक चूज करोगे, तो गारंटी
4C1 4C1 हो जाएगा।
करेक्ट, 4C1। तो न्यूमरेटर क्या होना चाहिए?
4C1. Yes, 4 kings are there.
Addition
In
रहेगा
52.
4C1 plus 4C1 because it can be any king, it can be
नहीं, तो एनी किंग मतलब 4 किंग में से आप एक ले रहे हो ना, तो 4C1 हो गया ना।
बस 4C1 ही रहे।
and then
हाँ,
I think it will
4C1
be 52C4
क्यों?
no 54C3 because हम और 3 कार्ड लेने वाले, राइट? कोई भी कार्ड हो
Correct.
जाएगा।
54 52 नहीं रहेगा। I'll explain।
51 51 हो जाएगा।
नहीं, अगेन उसमें भी और एक थोड़ा सा ग्लिच है। सी, आपके सिलेक्शन में एक किंग चाहिए, एक से ज्यादा भी नहीं चाहिए, एक से कम भी नहीं चाहिए। तो टू एंश्योर दैट योर सिलेक्शन इंक्लूड्स वन किंग, फर्स्ट विल सिलेक्ट वन किंग फ्रॉम 4 किंग्स। ओके, तो ये हो गया 4C1। ओके, बट माय एक्सपेरिमेंट इज ड्रॉइंग 4 कार्ड्स। अभी मैंने सिर्फ एक कार्ड चूज किया है, तो इसके अलावा मुझे 3 कार्ड और चूज करने। ओके, एंड those 3 cards should not contain any of the remaining 3 kings। ओके, तो मेरे पास फिर चॉइसेस कितने बचे? 48। करेक्ट, तो बाकी के 3 कार्ड मुझे 48 कार्ड्स में से चूज करने हैं। ओके, तो ये आ जाएगा 48C3। करेक्ट। यहाँ पे क्या लगेगा? एडिशन लगेगा या मल्टीप्लिकेशन लगेगा?
And right, so multiplication लगेगा।
Multiplication, correct, because here I am selecting one king from 4 kings, and then I am selecting 3 cards from the remaining 48 cards। Okay, मतलब excluding non-selected 4 kings। Okay, so this is the required probability। Okay, what time is it now? Okay, it's 10:29. So what we'll stop over here. Tomorrow we'll solve few more questions based on the classical definition of probability, and we'll also discuss the limitations of this definition and the second definition of probability, that is probability model. Okay, so we'll stop over here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.